Welcome to Spark Plugs podcast presented by SparqStudio. I'm your host, Dre Manning. Can I get a yurt? On the Spark Plug podcast, we have honest conversations with the minds behind the moves, creators, entrepreneurs, and changemakers who are doing the work and walking in purpose. Today's guest is someone who truly embodies the spirit. She's the founder and CEO of Nexus Advantage Connect, a Bahamian-based digital billboard and marketing company with big plans for global impact. But her story goes far beyond business. She's a strategist, a singer, and a baker. Most importantly, she is a purpose-driven creative who is committed to doing God's work in every space she enters. We're talking about the grind, the faith, the vision, and now she's building a brand and a life that is bold and layered as her resume. Welcome to the show, Frankel Alton.
Thank you.
Did I say it right?
Lovely.
Did I say your name right?
You said it right.
And then I pronounced Bahamian.
Bahamian.
Okay, because I went to public school in the Bronx, and if it's one thing you got to know about going to public school in the Bronx, they teach you how to shoot guns, and that is it. That is it. You're not getting anything more than that. But I'm so happy that you could be here. There's things we did prior to like getting on camera. We did a tour of the space, but this is your first time inside of SparqStudio.
Yes.
Before we even jump into like the conversation, like what were your thoughts about the space?
Really nice. I love it. I love, you call it modular rooms.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure I have it correct. But
Yeah.
I love that you have a different scene on each wall.
Yeah.
I think that was a perfect concept. It's obviously multi-purpose. I think the vintage room is just so unique.
Yeah.
That really blew me away.
Really?
All the spaces are nice, but that really blew me away because you had to source all of those things.
Yes.
You can't find all of those things there anymore. So
You have to remind me to tell you the story of just getting everything. But you're right. It was a process. Some of the couches that's in there are literally
Right.
from a home that was built in the like 60s.
I don't think I've seen those things outside of TV.
Yeah.
So, so that impressed me, but it's a really nice space.
Thank you. Could you see yourself creating stuff here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. That's the great feeling. And as I mentioned to you, we did design these rooms to be modular, to be switched around and just trying different things because it's more of a cozier space, right? It's not like this 10,000 square foot space. It's
Yeah.
14. And we just wanted folks to be able to come in and spark a bit of creation. Yeah.
Love that.
But again, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you so much. This is actually our first time doing this, right? So you are the first.
Really?
Yes.
I
So
am honored.
even the name of the show, we just like literally, I took a nap and just woke up and was like, oh, we're going to call it Spark Plugs.
Oh, wow.
So you are the first. We have not done this before, but pretty much when folks come by, they do a tour. After the tour, we sit down and we have a conversation. And the purpose of this is like twofold. One, we get content as a studio, and then you get content as a creative, as a CEO, entrepreneur, so that you can like continue to push your brand forward, right?
Thank you.
No doubt.
I love it.
Yeah, amazing. So I met Frankel.
Frankel.
Francis, come on, let's go. I met her at a networking event a week ago, right? Time flies when you're having fun, and we stood on the side, like towards the end, I think the very end of the event, and I was just like asking 1,000,001 questions, and to meet me for the first time and allow me to ask you so many questions you took it like a champ. Most people would have cussed me out by that.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
But I would love to chat with you a bit about who you are. So you're a CEO, strategist, an artist, a woman of strong faith, and a baker. But who is Frankel at her core?
Who is Frankel at her core? That is a good question.
Yeah.
I like to consider myself a multifaceted woman. Obviously, everything you read speaks to that. But at my core, I would say I'm someone that strives for good. I strive to serve others, fulfill the purpose that I'm here for. Like my mom could tell you, in every little thing, I call her all the time. Like, Mom, what'd you think about this? What'd you think about this? Because I always want to make sure I make the right choices, I do the right things, I make the most impact that I can, almost like squeezing all of the juice that you can out of this life. So I would say that's me. I'm very driven. I have a lot of interests and passions, and I think it all revolves around that, just wanting to make sure I make the most out of my life. So I would say that's who I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's powerful. Hearing you say that you're very driven, it kind of makes sense, right? Not kind of, it makes sense, right? So you are from Freeport, Bahamas, right?
Yes, you got it.
You are from
Big up Freeport. I'm very proud
and
over there.
you moved to the States and you went to University of Miami.
Yes.
How long? What was that transition like? Did that happen in your like as you transitioned into college, or did you move here like?
I moved there for college
Okay.
initially. I've been back and forth. So you could say I moved there more than one time.
Okay.
So the first time I moved here, I actually went to Broward College first.
Okay.
Completed my associate's degree, and then it was a 2-year program. Like you get an associate's and then go to a public school. But I happened to go to a private school, which is University of Miami. So I did that 2+2 transition where you do your associates and then you go on to your bachelor's.
Okay.
So when I came here in 2010, which is a long time ago now, when I came here in 2010, initially it was for college, and I finished those years of school. Then I went back home to the Bahamas.
Okay. So what made you come back?
So before I came back, I actually went to Aruba.
Okay.
I lived in Aruba for 3 years
Okay.
for medical school. And I think we spoke about this. I think we did, but I basically had to pause medical school, life, finances, things that you don't expect, but that happen, you know. So I had to pause medical school. Then I transitioned back here. And you talk a lot about God being the force behind the purpose that I strive to achieve and all of that. And that's the ultimate answer, that God led me. I think he was leading me the whole time, but as I grew closer to him, I got to see him more evidently in every direction. So to answer your question, my last move to the U.S. was strictly him. I wasn't expecting it.
Okay.
After I had to pause medical school, I was planning to go back home and use my degree in biology. I was teaching the first time I moved back home. So, whether it would have been teaching or working in a lab or something related to my degree, that was my plan. That would have been my plan, knowing that I had to pause medical school. But God directed me to a church in Florida.
Okay.
Had no clue I would be there. Had no clue it was a Bahamian church. Had no clue it was people that I was familiar with until I literally got there. And he said to me to serve at this church. And so I was traveling back and forth for a good while. I think that was from about 2021. Time is flying. But I would travel back and forth, and, I was just attending the church and just being of service to the Lord with my gift, with singing. And from there on, I just followed his move. Then he led me to complete a master's degree program, which through that, I guess he used it to land me in Atlanta, and here I am.
Okay. So I was wondering how you ended up. So you're here.
Right. So I had to create the journey for you so you could just see, and like I said, had he not thrusted me into that space of like staying at Gateway Outreach Ministries, which was a church I went to, Ministries International, correction. Had he not thrusted me in that space, it wouldn't have led to all of the other things,
Yeah.
So...
Okay, that's powerful. And I appreciate you sharing your journey of what got you to where you are today.
Yeah.
Let me rewind the tape just a little bit. So I've never been to the Bahamas before.
Never have.
Never been to the Bahamas
Gotta
before.
go.
What was it like growing up in Freeport?
Growing up in Freeport, okay. We've never been, so I can't compare it to Nassau, because most people have been to Nassau. But
I guess I'm not most people.
I guess the comparison I was gonna give is very quiet, laid back. People are very easygoing, friendly. You got good food, of course. And it's just island life, but not island life that most people that aren't from the Caribbean at all expect. Like I literally had someone the other day asked me about like huts or, like stuff that people would expect us to have like as soon as you walk off of a plane.
Yeah.
It's not that. It is still island
Somebody
life.
asked you if there's huts?
Yeah. People ask that. That's not an uncommon question, to be honest, for people that are not familiar with the Bahamas.
What people? What people?
Lot. You'd be surprised. I went to Thailand last year, and I was very shocked and low-key offended that no one knew what the Bahamas was. I met a lot of people, and most of them that I met was like, Bahamas what? So there are people that don't know us.
Okay.
But yeah, I would say it's more than what you expect on the surface. You know, people expect, okay, this is an island, it's not much happening, but we have a lot of unique opportunities, and I mean, it's evident in the new investments that are coming to my island. So, yeah.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that. So, how much of your, or of course, like we are all products of our environment, right? So, how much of what you've experienced and learned in Freeport still like, lives with you and has shaped you as a person and as a businesswoman?
Okay, so anyone that's familiar with Freeport in particular, first of all, let me give you context. There's 700 islands in the Bahamas. It's a lot.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Only about 32 plus of them are inhabitable, meaning that people live on them.
Okay.
Freeport is like the second biggest city.
Okay.
And we are known for our resilience. You hear about the hurricanes that come to the Bahamas? We've had a lot of them. Not all of the islands get hit, but we've had hurricane after hurricane. We've had economic downturn after economic downturn, and we've had to learn to be resilient. Now, resilience is not a thing you want to be all the time. Sometimes you just want to live and enjoy life, but a lot of things have caused us to be resilient. So growing up in that environment, I've learned to be resilient. I've had a lot of highs and a lot of lows. I've had unexpected twists and turns in my life. Like I mentioned to you, I didn't think that I would have to pause medical school. But coming from that background, coming from the island of Grand Bahama, city of Freeport, taught me to be resilient, to be tenacious. Anyone that lives in Freeport knows, like, even if you're opening a business, you have to be consistent, persistent. You can't let a no stop you. So that's what really, I think, birthed this drive in me, the environment where I had to watch my people, my island, be resilient and bounce back all the time.
Yeah, that's powerful. That's powerful. Because, like, I think you said it best, where there's like, you're going to receive those no's. You're going to have to be able to maneuver around that and not just allow it to shut you down. I think so many people hear a no and they immediately think like, that's it. I can't do it anymore. So knowing that you come from a place that's instilled that in you, you can't take that away from you. No one can ever take that from you, right?
Right.
So, but then you also have to have this level of resilience where you're like, hey, I'm going to go to school and I am going to focus on biology and then make this pivot into business. And then you approach these two things in two very distinct ways.
Yeah.
What was that process like for you, where you're like, hey, I'm either going to be a professor or a scientist, and then you transition and go, hey, actually, I'm going to do marketing. What was that transition like for you?
Do we have time? Okay, so I'll say this. I always wanted to be a doctor and a businesswoman.
Okay.
That was always part of the plan.
Was the plan to be like a doctor who ran her own business, or was it?
Yeah. So you see where this is going.
Okay. All right, go ahead. I'm going to shut
God
up.
has a funny way of flipping the script. And I just was thinking about this yesterday. I think I wrote it in my notes that sometimes God flips the script just to teach you how to trust him and just to prove he's in control. And I think that's what I've experienced, because I've always wanted to be a doctor and a businesswoman. And I know that that's part of my purpose, but sometimes you don't know the how and the journey in between.
Right.
So that's where I'm at, like in this in between to both goals. So I didn't expect the business side to come first, but just a little bit of background about me. I come from a family of business owners.
Okay.
I haven't seen any of the men in my family work for anyone, from my grandfather to my father, my uncles, even my brothers, my cousins. Everyone owns a business. Yeah. So innately, I would be a businesswoman. I mean, my mom as well, always, driven to entrepreneurship. So that was inevitable, but just not in this order, like I said. But you asked about like the journey toward marketing.
Yeah. So like,
particularly?
yeah, specifically like just what was that moment where you were like, all right, we're pivoting from medicine to marketing?
It wasn't quite a pivot, to be honest, because I think I told you I was working on this business for about 8 years, like working on getting it started. So at that time, I was still in college, pursuing my biology degree. I was just doing it in tandem. Yeah, I was working on it behind the scenes, and I was praying, so to speak, for, well, literally praying for a business idea in college. And I started to pray specifically for something that I didn't need to be home to run, home in the Bahamas, that I didn't need to hire anyone for. I prayed a crazy prayer that makes a lot of money. It was like those prayers you just write down, like, okay, I'm delusional, but it's gonna happen.
But you need that delusion, right? In this thing that we want to do called entrepreneurship, like you can't just be like logical.
Yeah.
Right, but go ahead.
You have to remove the parameters, and I guess that's what I did. So yeah, I prayed, and literally God directed me to the idea of digital billboard marketing. I did not have that in my plan at all. Okay. I was thinking along the lines of things I could do and things I like. Drawing, like
you
portrait
draw
artistry.
Too?
Yeah, I do.
Jesus Christ. All right.
So I was like, maybe I could sell portraits, maybe I could do art, but that does not fit me doing something else, go studying biology and going to medical school. Where would I find the time to be a full-time artist?
Right.
And then I thought about maybe baking cakes because I was interested in that, but none of it worked.
So but I'm gonna cut you off really quickly because I'm probably not gonna ask too many questions about your baking. But I came across her Instagram account where it's linked in her personal account, and she has a separate account, Frankie Bakes. Frankie Bakes. And I was like, a word? Like, and like immediately I just had big back energy. There was this cheesecake that was like amazing. We're going to dig into that because I am hungry, and we're not here to talk about me being hungry. So, so you're in college, you pray to God, you write this prayer to God. Hey, what is this thing that I can do it back at home in the Bahamas? I don't need to be there. It will make money, and I don't need to hire people. It will be sustainable. And it leads to Nexus. Yeah. Or did it lead to Nexus, or was it something before that?
Yeah, that's literally how it came about.
So like, did you immediately follow that order, or were you or were you irresponsible and trying to do things your way?
You mean like
as far as like when the message came, like when that message came to you?
I started researching. Okay. I started learning. I learned about the industry. It started off with research, which I think anything, especially if you're new to it, starts off with. And from there, I started to write my plans. Now, I didn't write a business plan immediately. Okay. And to be honest, I didn't have any formal training or anything in business plan writing. It wasn't until I had a competition I wanted to compete for to get funding for it. Okay. That thrusted me into drafting the formal business plan. So I would say that's the only thing I probably dragged my feet on a bit. Okay. I had it written down, like, in your notebook. I had all of the specs and all of the things. But then that competition, I think it was in 2018. No, anyway, I don't remember when. But that caused me to draft the formal plan. But it still was basically an 8-year process.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I got the idea in 2015. And on my island, particularly in my city, Freeport, they had to create a bylaw to allow that to be done legally. Okay. So I couldn't bypass that without them passing the law first. I couldn't bypass that barrier. So it took about 8 years before they finally got to the place where they allowed us to do it. Yeah. Yeah. Gotcha.
So thank you for sharing that. What were if you can remember, what were those like signs that were saying like, this is it? This is the thing you should be doing? Or did it just come one land, like flat out, this is it?
The idea?
Yeah, like what were the signs that led to it?
I think it was more instant because like I said, I was praying for a while for a business idea, but I was taking it into my own hands. So I guess that kind of fits the question
there we
you
go.
asked me earlier.
There we go.
Like I said, I'm like, okay, what can I do?
Yeah.
Oftentimes when you pray, I don't know if you've experienced this, right? But if you say a prayer, we low-key in the back of our mind be thinking of answers to the prayer.
Yeah, for
before
sure.
we get the answer.
For sure.
So that's what I was doing. I was praying for a business idea, but I really was trying to think of ways that I could, start a business, like things that I get ready could do.
Okay.
Marketing, billboards, that was not in my scope at all. The closest thing to that was that I did a little bit of graphic designing.
Okay.
I would do editing on Photoshop. I was proficient with that. But outside of that, it was just, so when it came to me, I knew that was not of me. I knew that wasn't just my idea.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. So it's funny. The reason I asked you, did you listen, or that's the word? Were you disobedient? Right? Did you listen, or were you being disobedient? Right?
Yeah.
That because a long time ago I met this woman named Cheryl Crawley. She's from Detroit, Michigan, and she runs an organization called Pretty Brown Girl, which is what her husband calls their daughters. Whenever they wake up in the morning, he says, "Good morning, pretty brown girls." And we were having this really cool conversation because she was going to hire my production company to shoot a commercial for her card game called My Mama Said, right? And one of the things she said to me that has stuck with me for years is, we will ask God to show us the path, show us the path, show us the path, show me what I should be doing, right? And he'll give you all of the signs, all of the pathways to it. And he's like, go right, and we'll go left. And then we'll just keep going left. And he keeps trying to route you back right, going right, go right, go right. But we keep going left. And then we go, come on, God, when are you going to show me what I'm supposed to be doing? And he's like, bro, I done showed you like 12 times and you keep going left. I told you go right. So at this point for you, you finally said, all right, F it. I'm finally going right.
And the thing is, a lot of times we don't even realize we're going left. Sometimes it takes like a jolt from God, like, hey, I'm trying to tell you. And that jolt for me was to pray specifically. Like, I heard him say, pray a specific prayer. And I'm like, specific prayer? Okay. If you want me to pray for what I really want, I want a business I don't need to be there to run. I want a business I don't need somebody there for. I want a business I make a lot of money. That sounds crazy, Yeah. So that was the pivot for me. And from there, he kept giving more instructions. Then there came a point of silence where I didn't think it was going to happen.
Okay.
Because, like I said,
the law had to be passed.
And I wasn't hearing anything, and the door seemed closed. And hey, call us every 2 weeks. I would, and then there was nothing, and then I just stopped reaching out. And then boom, eventually, an answer came.
Right.
So it was like a consistent trickling of instructions, but I think I was already on the trajectory of right.
Okay.
After that prayer.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's powerful. Did you know that there are 3 forms of, well, you should know this, you're in marketing. What are the 3 forms of marketing that have existed in the past, the present, and the future?
I'll let you answer that.
All right. So there's word of
my background is science, so we still learning.
So word of mouth, and newspaper, and billboards, right?
Okay.
Those are the 3 forms of marketing that have lived throughout our past, in our present, and will continue into our future. So with knowing that billboards strike this balance between old school and cutting edge, now that they're digital and things like that, what makes digital billboards such a powerful tool for modern businesses?
So, of course, the efficiency. Mind you, our billboard has a static side and a digital side. So we have the best of both worlds. But with the static side, you have to physically go and change it. You have to print the material. With a digital billboard, things are a lot much more fast. And you can be a lot more creative. I mean, to be honest, you could be creative with both, because you see, like, the Chick-fil-A billboards.
Really
those
cool.
are my favorite.
Yeah, for sure.
So you could do stuff like that with the static ones. But, you could change a billboard ad in a fraction of a second.
Yeah.
You can display video content. You could do so much with it.
Are you designing the billboards in-house, or do you have somebody else do it?
Both. So I do a lot of the work myself. Well, I'm kind of transitioning that. But I still share the work amongst other graphic designers that I basically bring on part-time to the team just to help offload the work. But a lot of our clients still do have their own designs.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't do as much of it. You know, I try to upload it as much as possible. But yeah.
So while doing research for this interview, I noticed that the graphic work on your your Instagram page was really, really good. Is that all you?
Not all of it.
Okay.
You have to show me which one.
All right, I'll show you after.
Yeah, that's me.
All right. Because hearing this, like, you're doing the billboards. I didn't know that people could do birthday billboards, and that was one of the things that I noticed you all were doing at Nexus at one point, where you were doing $100 birthday billboards, if I'm correct.
I think at some point, yeah, we've had a lot of specials, so probably.
That's cool.
It depends on the time frame too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So we start Nexus. We're in college. We go through this process of starting Nexus. It takes 8 years. How do you land that first client?
Oh man, it's funny you asked that because I think our first official client was actually the agency we hired to do our social media work when we launched. Yeah. So they were our first client. You'll see it on the website. Shout out to Be My Guest Agency, little plug for them. But they were our first client, I believe, with a static banner.
Okay.
Yeah. So that came through, I guess, us being a client of them,
For sure.
you know, and that's what collaboration does, you know. So that was our first client. Everything after that was a whirlwind. So I can't tell you the second, but yeah, they were the first.
That's amazing. And you all are still actively operating. About how many projects per month are y'all doing at this moment?
It varies. It's not, I think for more of the long-term clients, I could give you a per month.
Okay.
So we have a few long-term, but it varies. I would say anywhere from 10 plus, and sometimes it's more, especially in certain seasons.
Yeah.
Like,
What's your best season?
I would say when we do our November special, we get a lot of ads.
Okay.
I think that's the one you might be talking about.
Yep.
Yeah, the $99 November special.
Yeah. It goes crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we get a lot of clients with that, and then it kind of has an incentive to it where they can get ads in the future at a discounted rate.
Okay. Yeah.
Limited, but
Yeah.
You know, so that's when we get, I would say, the most ads. Yeah.
And do you own the billboards, or are you just kind of like sourcing the billboards and renting them?
You mean the structure itself?
Yeah.
Yeah, we own the structure. We don't own the land that it's on. We rent the land annually, but we own the billboard structure itself. We had to build that from the ground up. Yeah.
How many billboards do you have?
Just one.
Okay.
It seems like we have 10, right?
Yeah, it does. It does.
I like that for us.
So one is digital, but
yeah, it's a double side. Well,
okay.
About to be a little sneak peek drop. It's gonna be tri-sided soon. Yeah. Yeah, it's a little exclusive plug.
Okay. Okay.
So look out for that. But yeah, for now it's like V-shaped, double-sided.
Okay. All right. So we have Nexus. We're in school. We're gonna be a scientist. But then we also sing.
Yeah.
Right? And we have this talent where it's like, your voice is amazing. I got the chance to listen to a couple of songs. The voice is amazing. But with all of this talent, all of these things that's going on, you didn't release your first single until 2024. But it led to you being nominated for Artist of the Year, Contemporary Song of the Year, and Female Artist of the Year. What was that moment that you finally said, all right, it's time to do music, it's time to release it?
Okay, you're going to notice this trend in my life. I don't really, I guess, decide on moments.
Okay.
It's always God-led.
Okay.
I can't really explain it outside of that. And that came about because God gave me a song for a conference called Galentine Vibes. Shout out to Galentine Vibes again. But he gave me the song, and everything happened super fast after that. I sang it at the conference. I recorded it a month after, or maybe less.
Okay.
I think it was even
wow,
less
you
than
didn't
that.
have it recorded yet. You sung
No.
it. Okay.
And even that, I was like, okay, how does this work? Because I was new to all of it, still kind of new, you know? How does this work? Do I need to copyright it first? All of the things. But yeah, I sang it at the conference because it was really a song that he gifted me for the conference, but in reality, he gifted it to the world.
Right.
You know, I didn't expect it to go as far as it has. Not that I didn't think it was good, but just I just didn't have a preconceived idea of how everything would go. But like I said, I released it. I recorded it, then I released it in April, and just went off from there. People loved it at the conference, and everyone was trying to Shazam it.
Yeah.
Like, wait, we was looking for this song. Like, who is this? Who sings this?
Right.
And then when they found it was me, a lot of people were requesting for it to be recorded. And my answer to everyone at the conference was like, I don't know. We'll see what God does. I had no resource, no idea how I'll do it. But when I released it, the reception from the public, that really blew me away and still blows me away. I still have people messaging me.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's been a year since you released it. April, was it 14th?
14th.
April 14th, 2024, you released a song. Are we getting any new music from you, though? You know, this is the world of new, right? You dropped one last year, but we need like 40 more before the end of the year.
I know, right? Yeah, I'll definitely be releasing. I can't speak on the when specifically.
Okay.
But to be honest, I have a lot of songs, probably at least 100 plus in my phone just recorded that have been around years before Talitha Coom.
Yeah.
Sometimes I get them every week or, randomly. That's how I got Talitha Coom, honestly, the moment I got it. So I have a lot of songs, but when the time comes, I'll know which one is the next one.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So, like, us entrepreneurs, we constantly are juggling so much, right? Like, I swear we have ADHD, right?
Listen.
Because we're constantly juggling so much. So, how do you juggle being an artist, being a creative, and a CEO? Like, how do you manage all of that?
It is tough. It is tough, but I would say that, well, I always say this, that God gives you the grace and capacity for what he called you to.
Oh.
If I do anything outside of that scope, I will lose my mind.
Okay.
But whatever he's called you to do or instructed you to do, trust me, he's given you the grace to do it. So on the outside, to someone else, it may look impossible. But it's only impossible when you're not supposed to be doing it. If you're not supposed to be doing it, you're going to be pulling out your hair.
Right.
You won't have the grace for it because that's not what he asks you to touch. But because I know that he's leading me with every little step and I trust him with every little step, I think that gives me the capacity to handle it. I mean, it's hard. I'm not always perfect. I have some things that I need to complete now, but I could still feel the grace to do it, Yeah.
Let's stay right there. I'm not always perfect. I have some things to complete now. Has there been moments where you just felt out of alignment and like clearly right now that maybe now you're feeling one, but like in the past when you felt that alignment, what did you do to get back on track with God specifically?
Felt out of alignment with, I guess, what he wants me to do.
Yes.
That's a good question. I've been interested in for a while, but I guess I could speak to what I would do when I feel out of alignment. And this might be a better answer to your question. Sometimes I just feel out of alignment. Feel. A lot of the times I feel out of alignment. In fact, this weekend I felt out of alignment.
Yeah.
Because again, sometimes you know the outcome, but you don't really know the journey.
Yeah.
So sometimes the journey be looking like a different outcome. So I've experienced that a lot and still experience it sometimes. Like I said, this weekend, I'm like, okay, God, some things don't look like what I'm expecting you to do or what you said,
Yeah.
So in those moments, I just try to recenter my faith and my trust
For sure.
in what I know he said. Like I have to start thinking about God's character in those times when I feel out of alignment. Like, okay, I don't feel like I'm in the will of what you said. I feel like maybe I didn't hear God correctly, or maybe I made a mistake.
Yeah.
But then I have to just remember his character, and then I have to think on other times where I felt that way, and then I saw a shift. I saw where it came.
For sure.
To the place where I needed to.
You just start to see those things amplify.
Yeah. So I would say it's truly more of a feeling. That's what I've experienced more over the years, like just feeling out of alignment.
Yeah.
And I suffer a lot over the years with just like guilt and like wondering if I'm making the wrong choice. You know what I mean? Like because of the unknown. The unknown will make you feel like you made the wrong decisions. You made the wrong choices. I'm sure maybe when you were starting this podcast studio, there might have been times when you're like, okay, was I supposed to do it here? Was I supposed to even choose that building? Like there's always some little bit of, resistance and within, not just outside, but within.
Yeah, I used to get that feeling every time I looked at the bank account.
Yeah, that'll do it.
I get that feeling every time. Yeah, for sure. Or we weren't getting the bookings that
right.
But one thing, I guess for me, right, like my source of truth was always going, what does my phone ring for, right? Mm-hmm. When I pick up my phone, what are people asking me about? When people come to me, what do they want to talk to me about? And while I was like, man, I want to start a brand that is a 9 on a hat, right? But nobody's coming to me going, Dre, I love your hat. I want to start a hat company.
And that's what we expect.
Right. But they're coming to me going, hey, I have this idea for a podcast, or hey, I'm going to start creating content. I want you to help me. I want you to manage me. I want you to work with me. It always came back to that. Even working with like Hannah, like she came to me for one thing. I was trying to get her to work with me for another thing, right? Like she came to me saying, hey, you have a production company. I want to work with you. I want to learn from you. Yeah. And I was like, well, you have a background working with this tech company. I'm starting a tech platform. Come do this with me. I was trying to get her to align with what I wanted, but not paying attention to what were the things that people were calling me towards. Yeah. So I feel what you're saying, right? It's like, yeah, that's that feeling of like, oh, I'm not aligned with what I'm supposed to be doing or what I think I'm supposed to be doing. And there's that disconnect of what I think I should be doing and what I'm actually supposed to be doing. Right? What I think is not like, oh, I should be doing this. But if you pay attention to the trend, it's like, no, that's the thing you're supposed to be doing right there. I'm big on affirmations and using, like, for me, like, I'll sit in the car and drive in silence so I can recenter myself. But as a woman of faith, is there a specific scripture or affirmation that helps you throughout your journey that no matter what you're going through, you go back to?
Yes, I believe it's Philippians 1:6. It's my favorite scripture.
Are you going to have to tell me or you going to have to treat me?
It's my favorite scripture, but every time I say it, I'm like, is that the right one? I believe it's Philippians 1:6, but I know what it says.
Go ahead.
That he that began a good work in you is faithful to complete it to the end, to the day of Christ. So that...
Wait. Say it one more time for me.
He that began a good work in you is faithful to complete it. That is what anchors me.
Okay.
Like, okay, this journey looks a little murky right now, but you promise that you're going to finish the work.
Right.
You promise that you're going to do what you said you will do. So that keeps me going.
Wow.
Everything, right. If you think of anything, it could all be solved by that scripture. That's the way I look at it. Like, okay, it's rough right now. Okay, I don't have any money. Okay, I don't know what to do, but he that began a good work. Yeah. This work already started, and it will be completed. Yeah, I know I've taken you to church, but...
Yeah, no. Hey, look, I told you, I'm surrounded by like 4 or 5 churches in this one space, so I'm feeling it, and I appreciate it. When you think about yourself as a brand, what is as a person, as a brand, as a person, what is the impact that you want to leave, both in your personal life and your professional life?
That is a good question. I feel like the answer is not singular. The impact I want to leave, I can't speak about that without speaking about legacy. You could do a lot on this earth. Yeah. And of course, this entire earth is temporal, but a lot of what we do in the moment sometimes is temporal as well. But those things that you do that will create legacy, which means something that'll outlast you and outlive you, that's what I really, really want to strive to do every single day. Like when my great-great-great-great-grandchildren look back, like what principles can they get from me? And I'll just plug this in. I come from a family that like I told you, is very driven in entrepreneurship. And I would say a lot of that was spearheaded by my grandfather, who's no longer here.
Yeah.
And I had like another family member, a cousin of mine, telling me like, hey, why don't you and your family do what he did? This is what he did to get things to the place where they got, like the success he was able to achieve. Y'all need to do that. And I said to that cousin, like, I get that, and I get what he did at that time was impactful. But if I replicate that same thing now, I'm going to fail, because what he did then was good for then, it's not good for now. But what I am carrying is the principles, the ethics, the spirit behind what he did, because that is what will create success for me. So I want my legacy to be the same, where people don't try to emulate what I did, but try to emulate how I did it in terms of how I persisted, how I was tenacious, how I got back up. I think that's what I would want people to get from my life. Like, never quit, never give up.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that. I like that a lot. So here at SparqStudio and at on the Spark Plugs podcast, we believe that while you might grow up, you never stop dreaming, right? So what do you want to be when you grow up?
I want to be, when I grow up, the same thing I always wanted to be. I always wanted to be a doctor. And a lot of people are surprised when I still say that, because it's been a few years since I had to pause school. But I'm not one to throw away a dream because it didn't look like what I expected. So that's definitely one thing. And to continue to be a businesswoman and grow in that area, I feel like I'm just beginning. Yeah. So I want to be still a doctor and a businesswoman when I grow up.
Okay. So what I want you to do is look into this camera over here, and I want you to talk to the young men and women back in the Bahamas who are wondering if they can do what you have done, and send them a message.
We spoke a lot about my story and my journey, and the ups and downs, the twists and turns, the expected and the unexpected. And those are the things that come with any journey, with any goal that you're pursuing. There will be some unexpected times, but what's most important is that you continue to persevere, that you are persistent in the thing that you're pursuing, that you don't quit. A lot of the times we quit just before the thing is about to blow up and be great. A lot of the times we allow society to dictate to us how we should go about our future and what we should do next, or if we should let it go or keep it. But whatever you know that is deep within you, that you know you should continue to pursue it. Don't give up. Stay grounded in your faith, as I did. That's what keeps me continuing. And just go out there and make an impact, as we talked about. Create a legacy. And you do that by not quitting on yourself. So that's what I would say.
That's powerful. Frankel, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for taking this risk, because I know you agreed to this not knowing what the hell I was going to do.
I was like, what are you asking?
Yeah. Thank you for coming in, taking a tour of the studio. And I just appreciate you. And I look forward to just like witnessing your journey.
Thank you.
Before we close it out all the way, can you go ahead and look into the camera and tell people where they can find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Frankel Outen, Facebook, Frankel Outen. I also have a website, www.frankel.com. You can find my song, Talitha Coom, by Frankel Outen, on all platforms, including my YouTube channel, Frankly Frankie.
From business to baking to bold faith, Frankel is a reminder that your calling doesn't have to fit in one box, and neither do you. Creativity has no borders or boundaries. If you remove the KPIs, algorithms, and financial prosperity, creativity remains. Continue to be relentless, but never waver in your faith. Never waver in your truth, and stay committed. Stay focused and keep going. If this conversation resonated with you, please share. Please share in the comments one of your key takeaways. Thank you for watching this episode of Spark Plugs presented by SparqStudio. Be sure to subscribe to the SparqStudio YouTube page. And always, be kind to yourself. Give yourself grace. I appreciate you. Peace.